morning, everybody. As part of Change Recruitment's DE&I program, I wanted to take some time to sit down with Enoch, the founder of Black Professionals Scotland, previously the Edinburgh Black Professionals, to learn more about his organization and share some information with everybody. So hi, Enoch, how are you today?
Hello, I'm very well. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, Sam.
Of course. I had originally met Enoch through LinkedIn on a professional level, and while participating in the Black Lives Matter events here in Edinburgh, I was introduced to the organization behind it all, the Black Professional Scotland organization, which is actually yours. So can you share some information about this organization?
Yes, sure. So Black Professional Scotland, BPS, is the new name we have. So that's when the protest and George Floyd happened, we were Edinburgh Black Professionals. So I think since that time, we've been rebranding to become Black Professional Scotland, because back then we were only Edinburgh centric. But during the conversations we're having around June, post George Floyd, we found actually there's nothing like this in the other cities in Scotland. So we are currently in the middle of rebranding to Black Professional Scotland. So what we are doing, or who we are, is we're a network of blacks or black people or black ethnic minority in Edinburgh or Scotland. And what we are looking to do over the next 1 year, we've set a 1 year target for ourselves in the meantime, is to grow the database that we have of Black professionals within Scotland. And I'll tell you why we are looking to do that. We're looking to run mentorship programs within the network. So more senior people within the network, mentoring younger people within the network, school leavers or young people in school, those from maybe more deprived background with no real role model at home. We're also looking to put in place a reverse mentoring program. So that will be run between ourselves, BPS, and some organizations we're looking to start talking to. We've got about 2 organizations already signed up. So it'll be reverse mentoring. So there'll be people within the network mentoring senior white people within various organizations across Scotland. Mm-hmm. This is an initiative that's currently ongoing within my organization, and I'm part of it. I'm seeing the benefits, so I think we can roll it out to other organizations that maybe don't have the resources to do it, and we can just power it for them. Mm-hmm. So what we are also looking to, which we already do, but we are looking to host more events. Again, now that we're Scotland, we're really start thinking of how to host events for the whole of Scotland. Currently, thankfully, now we're all digital, so it's easier to host online. But when we go offline, we need to think of how we can host events in Aberdeen, in Glasgow, in Dundee, in Inverness, in Edinburgh. So those are some of the exciting things we're looking to do over the next 1 year. So we'll start putting things in place. There's work ongoing. There's a lot of work ongoing between myself and the team. But exciting times.
Very exciting. What led you to create this organization, and what was the motivation and the original outlook for it?
Yeah, so when I came into the workplace around 2007, so that was right in the middle of the financial crisis. I had a lot going against me. I was Nigerian, and I didn't have anyone around me to sort of hold my hand. My parents were not here. There was no uncle, there was no brother, there was nobody. So I came out from the university straight into the job market by myself. And this was Edinburgh back in 2007. There were not that many Black ethnic minority around. So I had to sort of work my way through to get things done myself, to get my role, and I was fortunate. I was able to get a graduate role eventually, but I probably made mistakes that I wouldn't have made if I had someone to just tell me how things are done. I'll give you an example. So being from Nigeria, in our culture, when you're speaking to someone that is more senior or someone that is more responsible than you don't look them in the eyes. So generally, that means when I was going to interview at the beginning, I was looking away from the interviewer, which is a no-no for the Western culture. So if you think of it, there were probably loads of interviews where I didn't perform well just based on the fact that I was looking away. So that didn't put me in the right light to the interviewer. So it's those little things. If there was someone then that had told me, or I've mentioned to me that, listen, when these are the things you should do when you go to an interview, I could have done better, and maybe there could have been better outcomes for me. But I'm grateful for how things turned out for me anyway. But eventually, as the years went by, I think I'm a very reflective person. I never forgot that part of my life because they were very tough times. I did a lot I completed a lot of applications. So that's why sometimes when graduates these days are complaining that they're not getting jobs, I always ask, how many applications have you done? Because I did a lot. So, and I just thought, it was good doing a lot of applications. It shows I'm resilient and whatnot. But then I was thinking as well, was that necessary? Was that the best? Is there something that could be better? And then from there, these ideas started coming to my head that maybe I could. And the ideas started coming to me around 2010, 2011. The demographic of Edinburgh was beginning to change. Where there were more Black ethnic minorities coming into the cities, professionals. So I thought I could start a network where we will have Black professionals that were doing that hand-holding for those that were just coming up. So maybe school leavers, university leavers, so that they won't go through what I went through. So that was essentially the genesis of Edinburgh Black Professionals then, which is now BPS. It was a forum to support, sort of a support network for Black professionals within the city, maybe those that were just coming into the workplace or those that were already in the workplace. Just things you won't normally get in your regular place of work, just because you are different, and conversations you can't have at work, you can have it there. So that was the genesis of EBP. So I played around the idea in my head for a few years. I started a LinkedIn group that didn't really take off. Then I decided I was going to start by just running an event, which was I was very nervous because I didn't know it was going to be successful or not. I didn't know how to fund it, so I just funded it myself just because I was really passionate about it. So the first event was self-funded to a large extent. I got the hall, I got the word out, and and that was how EBP took off back in 2016. We got a good number of people turn up. They love this, they love the idea, they love where what the vision was, and we've just been running with it since then. And then now 2020. We've just almost amplified the old thing is now amplified into BPS. Our vision has changed. We're now looking, I think before we're looking more inward, but now by inward, I'm saying we're looking into the Black community. But now we're not looking inward, and we're also looking outward. When I say outward, I mean looking at organizations, those that whatever they do affects ethnic Black Black ethnic minority, and seeing what we can do with them, how we can work with them to make their organizations a better place for Black ethnic minorities to be, and also to make their organizations more attractive for Black ethnic minorities to get into. So hopefully that answers that question.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. And that actually leads into my next question, because what really had caught my attention on your previous website was the fact that you've got these brief introductions to some of the members of your organization. And I believe it was called the careers profile section. And it shows insights into highlights of how some of the members of your organization have been so successful in their careers. So how did you, first of all, come up with this idea? And do you think that this has helped a lot of the younger professionals shape their careers?
Yes. So I think sometimes it's good to have something for you to dream of something. So you need to see someone like you in a role for you to believe you can be in that role or in that kind of role. So there are still some pockets of communities within Edinburgh and in the wider Scotland where Black people still think they can't get into some kind of jobs. Believe it or not. So especially professional jobs of law, finance, medicine, and whatnot. They just think those kind of roles are meant for some kind of people, or you need to be a certain way to get into those roles. So I think bringing those career profiles to life sort of bust that myth. And it's not just what we're trying to do again was profile not just Black British people, but also Black Africans, Black Caribbeans, those that migrated into the UK, maybe with a different, with a degree from their home country, and then sort of works their way into the UK system, which is some of the challenges a lot of Black people, Black ethnic minority people face. So they've studied, say, accounting and finance in maybe Kenya or Nigeria or Jamaica, and then they move to the UK and they're struggling to get a role in that field. So what a career profile section does is to show them people that have made those moves, people that have studied a particular degree outside the UK, they've come into the UK. Yeah, it was hard, it was tough, but then the steps they take, some practical things they did, which then landed them into like a parallel role compared to what they were doing back where they emigrated from. So that's been good, that's been successful. It slowed down a bit just because we focused on other things. But now that we're revamping and rebranding and we're getting more volunteers to help with some of the things we're doing, we're going to be getting more profiles in there, again, just to inspire those, myself and others, but also inspire the younger generation that really you can, if you want to do anything, you can do it. Just and again, BPS is the support network, so you have that support network to help you get there.
Recently on LinkedIn, I saw a new group that was coming about, or I should say a new hashtag that was coming about, and it was 100 Black interns. And then you had recently commented saying that you wanted to start influencing that as well through your organization. Can you just shed some light on that?
So that links into my first point. It was around what BPS is looking to achieve over the next 1 year. So it's around that internship. To give some context to those listening who don't know what 100 Black interns is. So my knowledge is some organizations, some corporates, big fund managers have pledged to bring in 100 Black interns every year from 2021. And not just into back office roles, but into more prominent front office roles, which apparently I think there's less than 1% of Black ethnic minorities in the front office roles in the UK, within fund management, which is very poor. It's not representative of the UK population in any way. So they've made that pledge, and my employer, Standard Life Aberdeen, is one of them, which I'm very proud of. So what my post that is on LinkedIn was made in time into that year in Scotland, because what you will quickly find again is a lot of those initiatives are generally England centric. Yep. And that was one of the reasons why we went from EBP to BPS, so we can cover the Scotland population. So we are going to be looking to speak to organizations to see what their current internship programs are, how we can help to diversify that a bit by supporting them with Black interns or Black ethnic minority interns. And how we're going to do that is because we will have that database of Black professionals, Black students that we can reach out to get quality applications that will have better chances, or that will have good chances of getting through the application process and getting into the internship positions. So that's what we are going to be doing in Scotland. So we won't be using an initiative like 100 Black interns. So maybe we'll come up with a different initiative, but we are going to be, providing that support for organizations that are genuinely serious about diversifying their workforce.